Let's figure out DVD. I was flying around my neighborhood. Things got okay distance. So much. There's a lot of stuff that's blocking it. So many different things that
Autopilot mode enabled.
cause it to lose signal and stuff. And it's not even that. It's like I live on Long Island, so it's easier.
Good luck, everyone. General quarters. Awaiting instructions.
Oh, Godfather, thanks for putting up the tab for me. Holy shit.
Motion passes.
Outrage after the city's rent guidelines board voted to propose rent increases for rent-stabilized apartments, ranging from 0% to 2% for one-year leases.
This is going to be bad news for New York's mayor because everyone living here was promised frozen rent. And although a 0 to 4% increase doesn't mean much to a voting base who's been taught that capitalism is evil and elected a mayor who's promised to replace it, waiting for the impact of socialism isn't something anybody wants.
Right now, there are over 100 renters out here behind me waving signs and chanting, "Freeze the rent." This has really been an issue that's riled people out here.
And I'm on a fixed income. I struggle to pay 40% of my income goes to rent.
Landlords have seen major profits over the last few years, and while tenants have seen 4 straight years of increases.
Rent's artificially capped below operating costs. Buildings are starved of the funds needed to run. Maintenance gets deferred, then skipped. Now Mayor Mamdani wants to freeze rent.
Landlords say rising costs are hitting them just as hard.
Even if they give us a 2% increase, it's not enough.
Well, the rent has to cover the expenses. They don't want to raise the rent. Don't raise the taxes. Don't raise our insurance. You know, we can't continue like this.
So the key word about this upcoming rent freeze is that it is potential. It hasn't happened yet. And what nobody's talking about is voters here are at a boiling point. They were promised frozen rent. They were promised free grocery stores, free buses, you name it. And none of that stuff has happened. People are tired of waiting for socialism. They want it right now. And if there is any rent increase as part of this new deal with the city's regulation body, it will mark another betrayal of the rabid communist voting base here that was told everything was going to be paid for with other people's money and can't seem to figure out why their living expenses will not stop skyrocketing. And of course, living in an anti-business, anti-construction, pro-shoplifting sanctuary, that's got nothing to do with it. In their minds, even though the world knows the $5,000 rents here are the product of a lack of supply, something that could easily change if the anti-capitalists running this place would let underdeveloped land turn into apartments somehow, or would let shoplifters spend time in jail as they steal things, forcing up the cost of everything that hasn't walked out the door of a store just yet. But here's the real reason the Mamdani machine is slow walking off a communist cliff. In order to implement this new socialist world order for our city, the old world order, it's got to be given the boot, but it's still around and it's fighting back. And you've got billionaires threatening to take their companies and their jobs somewhere else at a time when landlords and those who've succeeded and provide something people here need are being punished for it. As Mayor Mamdani brags about record-setting fines, which property owners that have too many regulated apartments will not find the money to pay, and thus will have their properties seized by the city as part of this communist revolution. There's a fight going on our streets here, and some New Yorkers are wondering if there's anyone out there who can save us.
Michael! Mr. Bloomberg! The last great mayor. One of the best mayors in New York. Bring him back. We need you back. We need you back. We need you back. Come for another, at least 1 year. One more year. We need you. At least 1 year. At least 1 year.
We need help. Right, so according to New York's former mayor Michael Bloomberg, the city's on its own. And that's not just those of us living in it who stand to lose, as this communist regime erases every semblance of American life and values, but it's also the people clamoring at the gates for the thing that's going to destroy this city permanently. And as you're about to see, their impatience for this takeover is rather disturbing.
The motion passes. Outrage after the
Look
city's
at
Rent
this.
Guidelines Board voted to propose rent increases for rent-stabilized apartments, ranging from 0% to 2% for one-year
2%.
leases and 0% to 4% for two-year leases. Tenants
They're going
rallied both
crazy.
inside and outside the meeting, saying they shouldn't be forced to choose between paying rent
There you
and
go.
buying essentials like groceries.
So what? So then the landlord has to be forced between repairing the building and letting it collapse, because that's the other choice, and that shows you the whole problem we got going on here. If one side wins, the other side loses, and if it's the landlord that loses, everybody loses. At least if rents were to go up, the buildings wouldn't fall down, and we wouldn't have less housing and an even worse crisis, because that's the issue. The issue is we don't have enough of these things. We don't have enough apartments. Had we had more apartments, people would be able to find places to live that were affordable because they would have options. They would have choice. Landlords would have to compete. You wouldn't be able to charge $5,000 a month for a place that's a total dump if new places are built across the street, but we aren't doing any of that. And the fact that you've got these government-regulated apartments at all means we don't even have a capitalist housing market to begin with. If we had that, every apartment would be able to have rent that was equal to the fair price of that apartment. But because half the city's apartments can't even be rented for what they're worth, those places are falling apart right now. Those are places the mayor himself has toured and seen people complain about. And the people who are out there upset about a 2% rent increase on something that's $1,000 a month or less, these folks don't understand that sadly, if this happens, there's just gonna be more chaos. Even though we've got a living, breathing example of this right now. Watch this.
Here's a New York City lesson for you. And timing matters because history is about to repeat itself. New York City kept the subway fare at a nickel for 44 years.
Oh,
from
yeah?
1904 to 1948. So instead of adjusting the fare, they deferred maintenance, skipped repairs, and starved the system of money year after year.
Oh.
What happened next is the government stepped in and spent billions on what years of underfunding had destroyed. And today, you're still paying $3 a ride for a subway that's unreliable.
Look at that. So our subway is like a bunch of government-regulated apartments with frozen rent because the subway fare was frozen. And what happened? The whole thing collapsed and imploded around us, and it's right back to where it was. The fares keep going up. The crime keeps going up. The system never seems to work. People can't seem to figure out why. Well, that's because it doesn't charge what it needs to charge to sustain itself. Therefore, it's always a disaster. That is going to be our housing market, and that's exactly the point that's being made right here. And it's frightening because we should be able to look at this and say, gee, this sounds like what they're trying to do over here. Nope, nobody wants to see that. They want the subway to be free too, by the way.
Artificially low fares, deferred maintenance, government takeover, and higher costs. You see where I'm going with this? Rent-stabilized housing, of course. Rents are artificially capped below operating costs. Buildings are starved of the funds needed to run. Maintenance gets deferred, then skipped. Maybe when enough buildings fail, the government will step in. They'll spend billions fixing what years of underfunding destroyed.
Right.
And your rent just like the subway fare, only going up. Now Mayor Mamdani wants to freeze rent, but New York already ran this experiment on the subway. We know exactly how it ends. Expensive and still
broken. But that's
broken.
what the city wants to do. They want to step in. They want to control these buildings. And even though rent might not go up in these regulated buildings that they're going to fine out of existence and then seize after they step in, because those houses are off the market, because they crumble or the tenant never moves out, regardless, they're eliminating apartments. This is a scheme to eliminate housing, which means the housing that's left, that is free market, what's going to happen to those rents? It's going to go straight up. And it is. Right now, rents are $5,000 a month on average in certain parts of town. That's totally unaffordable. Nothing about freezing the rent is affordable because the best thing it can do is eliminate housing for everyone. But what about this idea that if somebody lives in an apartment now, they should be able to pay for that apartment in perpetuity and live their life, and the landlord shouldn't have any control over it? What about that?
Forced to choose between paying rent and buying essentials like groceries.
And I'm on a fixed income. I struggle to pay 40% of my income goes to rent. And then I struggle to pay medical, my drugs, my food, all the other expenses.
Many of us are operating very old rent-stabilized housing. It costs a lot of money to upkeep these buildings. The revenue that we use to do that is the rent. And if the rents are not increasing, they're defunding the buildings.
Oh, so let's defund the housing that we have. That's never worked. Defunding housing doesn't create affordable housing. If anything, it just puts people under. And this guy that lives in an apartment, which is unaffordable, it's sad that he lives in that apartment. It's sad that politicians won't allow new apartments to be built so that people struggling with affordability can go out and find a better option. Nope, there's no competition. Prices aren't going down. Instead, we've got government regs that just push the prices up. And landlords, as you hear from them, they don't know what to do because they're already losing money on these buildings. They're already unable to cover the costs of repairing them. And if they are able to cover the costs, whatever their market rate portfolio is versus their stabilized apartment portfolio, they're getting the money from people that don't have capped rents yet.
The rent freeze was a key campaign promise for Mayor Zohran Mamdani, with average rent in New York City topping $3,000, according to Zillow. He has no direct authority over the decision. That power rests with the Rent Guidelines Board. Mamdani appointed 6 new members in February. He released a statement reacting to the...
Oh, so the mayor appointed 6 of the people you see sitting here. The deck is stacked. This is going to happen. And what's fascinating about this is we're witnessing something very interesting. We've got the economic center of capitalism, right? The symbol of capitalism in America. New York City is where you got the stock exchange, where you got the millionaires and the billionaires, the people making the money. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And it seems to some folks that the new mayor coming in doesn't really want that to happen. He's gone on recent offensives against people who have become very successful and have created jobs and spent billions of dollars on projects in New York that make the city better while paying billions and millions in property taxes. And people are trying to figure out why the mayor is so hostile to the things the city needs to keep going. They can't seem to connect where this hostility is coming from with the fact that without these rich people, the city's gonna go belly up. Well, maybe that's the entire agenda. Maybe what we've got to do is get out of our minds our values, right? Because as a normal person, we would say, well, if we need the tax revenue to fund all this free stuff, we better not be mean to these people. We have to forget all that. We're not dealing with somebody who has our value system. And to understand that, you need to listen to an analysis of a regime that also doesn't have our values.
That is a fact. Eventually, there would be economic collapse. But here's where this regime is. We can't look at the regime through the prism of the United States logic, values, and reason. We have to look at the regime in terms of who they really are. Hardliners are running the regime. What matters the most to them is to stay in power. They will ride this economic peril out. They don't care about the suffering of their people. Shutting electricity down.
Listen to that. So this is an analysis of former General Jack Keane talking about the situation in Iran, how they will not surrender, even though to a reasonable person they should have surrendered the first night this whole conflict over there started. That's the same thing we're dealing with here in New York. We've got a new regime in place which does not have our values. They don't care if people's rents go up. They don't care if groceries are unaffordable. All they care about is giving the old world order the boot so that they can come in and totally remake this place. They will ride this out. And to them, if a bunch of millionaires and billionaires vanish, if their businesses go belly up, that's fine. You know why? Because it means that those people are going to be gone. They're not going to be around to oppose them any longer, and the people who stay are already voting for communism, already want more help from the government. They're just going to cry out for more of it, and this may set up an eternal socialist power structure in New York that sticks around for a few decades or longer. And this is how you have to look at Mamdani. You can't look at him and say, well, what would a reasonable person do? Because his values are reasonable to him, but not to us.
And we can make a huge list of everything that's happening to the Iranians in terms of the economic peril and the suffering is about to take place. But you have to, again, recognize who are we really dealing with here. The guys running the regime, all they care about is staying in power. They don't care about their people. They've demonstrated that time and time again in terms of their economic peril that they put them in to make certain they stay in power. So they, in their minds, can outlast us.
Right, and look on the screen right here. Everything happening over there, their economy collapsing. We're gonna see similar stuff in New York, maybe not to this same degree, but the housing price is gonna go the same direction these arrows are pointing. The grocery prices are gonna go this same direction. Things are not gonna get more affordable as the government shuts down businesses, kicks out its achievers and tries to take over, but that is the entire purpose of this. The entire purpose of this is to outlast the opposition, to win elections, to establish a permanent power structure that can never go away and never be defeated. And after Mayor Mamdani gets reelected, he can choose a successor and then use the platform that has been built in New York to catapult himself to something else, maybe a higher office in the United States government somewhere. Maybe he could be a senator, a congressman, maybe a governor, who knows? But this is what we're looking at here. A replacement power structure and voter base is being set up, which does not have our values, which values socialism instead of capitalism. And the goal here is for that to be the dominant force here forever.
He released a statement reacting to the proposal, saying, New Yorkers are being crushed by the cost of living, and they need real relief. I'm encouraged to see the board taking seriously the data around affordability, operating expenses, and the pressures facing both tenants and small property owners.
I mean, that's an eloquent statement, but it's factually incorrect. If landlords are already underwater on their apartments, if they're already not earning enough money to fix up their buildings, then we're not taking seriously the expenses involved in this at all. It sounds good. It sounds like the mayor cares about both sides of the issue, but what's interesting here is we only get statements like this after we realize there's a problem. We get statements that come out and say, hey, oh, the mayor's actually pro-business. Oh, actually, he doesn't want to defund the police. Oh, no, actually, he doesn't have such a viewpoint on such and such an issue. We always get that as a reaction to something that comes out where he says he's going to freeze everybody's rents, where he says he wants to confiscate buildings with fines and stuff like that. It's always a reaction which shows you where this is headed. He goes first and then tries to back off. It goes first and then tries to back. It's like we're being led somewhere with all of this rhetoric, and no one can stop it. It's gonna happen. People are gonna wake up one day and wonder, oh gee, how did we get here? Well, this is how.
A little better with having 0% included now, but we know the game. We're all already talking about expecting that they'll probably vote the highest amount.
Even if they give us a 2% increase, it's not enough.
Landlords say rising costs are hitting them just as hard.
The rent has to cover the expenses. They don't want to raise the rent. Don't raise the taxes, don't raise our insurance. You know, we can't continue like this.
Right. Landlords have seen major profits over the last few years. And
major profits? What is this guy talking about? How do you have major profits over here and people over here who say they're literally going out of business because taxes and insurance? Somebody's not telling the truth, or somebody doesn't understand what's going on. Perhaps they're confusing profits with revenues. Revenues can go up as rents in a housing crisis spike, but profits can also be at record lows if a lot of apartments are regulated and if the expenses to run those buildings are so high that nobody makes any money. So either both of these are true, or people are just trying to use talking points to push an agenda that's going to be bad for housing. Now, is it sad that somebody has an apartment with rent that every single month they struggle to pay? Absolutely. But that's not the fault of the property owner who's got higher taxes and higher insurance and higher water bills every single year. That's the fault of policies that jack up those costs. And if you're going to raise taxes on those property owners Where are they supposed to get the money? It's not the landlord's fault that they need to raise the rent. It's the government's fault that the landlord has to raise the rent. The landlord wouldn't be able to raise the rent. But they don't have competition. There isn't another place for you to move into. There's no choice. There's no options for these people who are stuck in rents they can't afford. Right now, if you're a market rate tenant, and you're paying $5,000 a month for an apartment, you don't like your apartment, if that's where you're at economically, you can walk out the door tomorrow and find another $5,000 apartment that's better, and your landlord might negotiate with you. You have some leverage, but that doesn't happen if the apartment you're in costs $1,000 a month and the landlord's already going broke fixing it. The best thing for the landlords of these rent-stabilized apartments are for folks that live in them to move out, and then the apartment comes off the market because landlords, they gotta pay for water, they gotta pay for heat, they gotta take care of the building. They have to spend money if somebody lives in an apartment, and if that apartment is a drain on the building, it's actually better for them for there to be no housing. That's the system we've created here. Is it being done on purpose? Because New York has been given over to an ideology that has a different value system than what we're used to in this country, that does not value capitalism anymore, now values socialism. Are we looking at a socialist takeover? Is that why this doesn't make sense and nobody can seem to connect the dots? Let me know. See you in the next video.
Chud the Builder is facing decades in prison. We're getting that today. Legal breakdown on the Legal Mindset. So let's jump right into it. In case you guys don't know, behind Etherly, aka Chud the Builder. Now, I put him in the nuisance streamer category because his primary is rage baiting people, essentially going out there for innocent bystanders on the street, minding their own business, saying offensive things to them to get them to enraged, react back, film that, and farm that content cloud. And this is something that we see as a very, very common pattern with other streamers like Johnny Smalley. He just happens to be in the US and happens to be, once again, cloaking this under the common veil of speech. But just like with Johnny Somali, sometimes the most heinous thing they do or the worst thing they do isn't actually the thing that ends up getting them in trouble. While everyone knows Dalton for dropping the N-bomb on people, in this case, what he's been charged with are multiple criminal charges in several counties, some of which have absolutely nothing to do with the language that he actually spoke, no possible speech, such as this video here, which we're going to look at, where he has an encounter in a restaurant, and we'll see how he deals with that restaurant. So they're in an upscale restaurant in Nashville. So they're going to this restaurant, and right off the bat, they're saying, hey, are you filming? Like, we prefer if you don't do that. We don't want that in here. Very reasonable request, asked very nicely. And in almost all cases, if you're going into a business, if you're going into somewhere, and they ask you nicely, you should comply with that. There's no reason why you need to force yourself as a live streamer into this situation and into a restaurant or this business. But he doesn't give up, and we'll see how he pushes even further.
What are you about to tell us we can't eat here?
See, he's making the assumption, he's pushing that assumption that, hey, you're going to kick us out of here, you're going to remove me from here. Well, that's because probably other places do that, and they have every right to do that. Something that Chud, a person who pretends to be standing for freedom of speech and the Constitution, should understand is that actually businesses have every single right and freedom themselves. Private individuals own these businesses, families own these businesses, and they have every right out of their private business, because it is a very reasonable thing for a business to not want somebody who's smelling, provocative, etc. on the table next to them while they're trying to eat their dinner, particularly in an upscale restaurant. But all of these nuisance streamers, such as Johnny Somali and here, they all think they are entitled to be in these places. They think that they own these places. Let me see that play out. So once again, the manager is now there. The manager has told him to turn it off. So now he's been told twice. But does Chuck listen? No, of course he doesn't, right? This is why they end up in run-ins with the law, because they just don't listen to people run their ass nicely.
I'm just asking you not to record video. That's fine. I'm just curious why I'm not good money to spend here.
And this is the attitude here. So he's giving up his name. He thinks he's so popular. He thinks he's so important. He's, got this inflated sense of ego. Very common with nuisance streamers because they get virality, because they get these big clips that are trending. They get attention that they never had before. They also think they can buy people out. Chud said there, I have good money. Buy out their dignity, their peace and quiet, the way they run their business. I'm just going to walk in here and I'm going to own the place. That's the ego that Chud the Builder is bringing into this, and that's exactly the problem in this case. And this is what he's using as a shield here. He's saying, hey, I believe in freedom of speech, the Constitution, but that doesn't get you a free pass to come into somebody's business and do whatever you want and just take over that business. It doesn't give you permission to also report people without their consent. They've already told you no. The guy put his hand up. He clearly did not want to be on video. This isn't the same as two influencers that are arguing with each other on the internet. This isn't people that have consented to be part of the insanity and be part of the craziness. This is just people that are trying to go about their day. Normal people just trying to live their lives. And this perhaps is why there needs to be more action to shut down this type of nuisance stream. So now that we've seen the restaurant incident, let's look at the courthouse incident facts. So the news that everybody is talking about now is the courthouse incident. A lot of people have looked past that restaurant incident, which just happened days earlier. I think it's very relevant because it shows escalation. But this courthouse incident is what may land him in jail for decades. So on May 13th, around 1:15 p.m., outside the Montgomery County Courthouse in Clarksville, as a public area with bystanders, surveillance. Etherly was there for a civil matter. He was allowed to be there. He got into a verbal confrontation with Joshua Fox, a 31-year-old Army veteran, also a father. Now, people are also reporting that he had been stalking him and there were other facts that came out. We'll get into that a little bit later. But per the arrest warrant, Etherly turned into a bladed stance. He reached for a firearm in his jacket pocket first. A physical fight ensued, and Etherly fired multiple shots. Fox was struck requiring emergency surgery at Airlift Vanderbilt. Etherly was grazed in the arm, self-inflicted. During the struggle, ricocheting bullets hit nearby walls, and Etherly claimed self-defense, alleging that he was punched from a sucker punch, as most reports from his side are saying. But the warrant and the evidence emphasized he initiated the damage. The courthouse was briefly locked down. So that's what went down on that day. So with that shoot, let's look at what criminal charges happened overall, both including the courthouse and even the restaurant, because as with all nuisance streamers, you have to lump these things together. So from that restaurant incident, he actually ended up walking out on the bill. So he not only was in there, he actually walked out on that bill, and so he got hit with conduct and resisting arrest. And there's actually video of him on that case.
There's another green one right here. Same one? What did I do?
Now those are all misdemeanors, but he's facing all felonies in Montgomery County, Clarksville. So in Clarksville, he's facing use of a firearm during aggravated assault and reckless endangerment. So what are the penalties for this? Well, for the Davidson County Nashville charges, he's facing up to 11 months and 29 days in jail with fines. Now, typically this would be probation, a slap on the wrist, but now that he's looking at these other charges, I bet the prosecutors there in Davidson County are going to be ramping all of their charges, With the Montgomery County charges, he's facing up to 60 years behind bars just for the attempted homicide alone. Now, the other 3 charges can stack up, and those can add to potentially decades behind bars. The real thing that will get him is the mandatory minimum. If Chud the Builder is hit with all of those charges, he will absolutely be elected for Now, let's look at the self-defense analysis, because this is the real debate. The real debate is, was this self-defense? Now, Tennessee has a standard. So in Tennessee, you require
Getting out of there.
lawful presence, lawful conduct, reasonable belief, unbelievable force, proportionality, and no initial aggressor. So you have to have all of those things. And this is an affirmative defense. So if the prosecutors can actually knock out one of these elements, just one of these things, he's guilty, because you have to admit that you did it. You have to say, I shot the guy, but here's my defense. So if they knock out your defense, all you're left with is, I shot the guy. That's literally all that's left of that analysis. So when you actually apply that to Chud's case, there's some arguments pro and against Chud.
A little bit, how you doing? It was for a little bit, and then I changed it over.
We also have claims from Chud's side that Joshua Fox actually punched first. And if you combine this with reports of stalker, following him, etc.
Lizard.
How you been?
And I think this is where you might have some trouble. Now, another factor is the argument on the anti-Chud side, the arrest where we actually have the facts. Remind you that over 100 what happened and getting that information. So looking at what was actually escalated, the belated stance and reaching for the gun, that's going to be escalation under the standard ground self-defense analysis. So that's not going to look good. Also, generally does not look good when you have non-deadly force of punch versus deadly force of multiple shots. Now, before anybody gets out there and goes crazy, yes, punches force. For example, if someone punches you, that can be treated as deadly force, and you can respond accordingly. In general, for example, just getting body punched or just a regular punch, typically a regular punch is respond and that's proportionality, right? So if your response is above the level where it should be, that's going to be failing in self-defense analysis. If someone punches you, typically you punch them back. That's a fist fight. You get in a fist fight. You're not drawing a knife or a gun or something else in that scenario. Now, the other thing is the bystanders. The bullets were ricocheting and going around, and that goes to the reasonableness of pulling out his gun and firing multiple shots at Joshua Fox, because they're going to look at that and say, is that a reasonable use of force? Did he use more force than was necessary in this scenario? The other factor, which I think is massive, and I do think plays into the overall analysis, what the fact that he was live streaming and then documented history of combat. So he was live streaming to get the rage bait. That's why he exists on the internet. That's what he does. That's how he makes his money, is by getting rage. You can see that at that combined with the history and all the other things he's done as showing that this guy was trying to provoke this, and this was the natural, more reasonable, expected outcome was for this type of thing to happen. Here's my judgment. Based on all of the warrants and all we have for the affidavits and all the evidence we've gotten from the actual government, I think Chud's self-defense argument is right. I also think that a jury of normal people, even conservative people in conservative Tennessee, most normal people that are not internet brained, his other actions while live streaming also deserve jail time. You have to look at the totality of what he's doing. Private businesses trying to tell tell them what to do, what they do, be disorderly, disruptive. All these things deserve punishment because people will come out and copycat these things. They see these actions, see the morality, see the news, and they will try to connect John Somali, Chud the Builder, etc. They will do these things absolutely. There's not for nuisance streamers, there's going to be an infinite amount of copycats tomorrow. And part of the law is to disincentivize this behavior. You know what? You shouldn't do this. And I think Chud definitely needs some. The other factor I'm going to in here is his bail was set at $1.25 million. Absolute hilarious reaction to that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
You see the big oof there for Chud. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, that's crazy. Oh, this is two-tiered. Oh, this is insane. Well, there's a lot of factors you have to consider here. First of all, he was already out on bond for the national championship. People are forgetting about that factor. The other thing is, and this is a massive factor, is that he's profiting on this. So one of the thoughts of the judge is, hey, you're going to go out here, you're going to end up live streaming, you're getting into this again, funded by your community. And seeing the Gibson go, pumped up to 200K, that's a very good reason to say he might be funded, get out there, and be engaging in this and endangering the community once again. So making it a barrier to prevent you from going out there and engaging in the So while some people may think this is very high, I actually think this is not out of line for this type of case. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one. Miskit is losing his lawsuit with Emperor as he just cannot wait for the lawsuit to proceed. We're going to get into the meltdown today on the Legal Minds. Be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. By now, I'm sure you are familiar with Emperor.
At least not Texas barbecue. I've been keeping this a secret ever since I moved back here.
And I'm also sure you're very familiar with Miskit.
No one cares. No one cares. Like, no one wants to it's there.
Now, the latest drama in the lawsuit is over a proposed scheduling order. Now, this is something that is normally very boring, very perfunctory. It's something that just happens. But in this case, Miskip is very, very mad about how it goes down. Let's watch it.
All right, well, might as well go over this real quick because apparently I don't shut up about it in my stream even though I haven't talked about it in months. It got put out there, leaked, basically, that Emmy wants to have the start date of court in 2028.
So it's very funny that he's starting out with complaining about 2028, because if you literally look at right here, this particular date that he was suggesting, he's suggesting August or September 2027. So he's suggesting next year. So while this kid is complaining he wants this to be done yesterday, it's not like he's proposing a date that's this year or in a couple of months. And it's not like the court would ever accept that. Emaru is proposing it 2 years out, and we'll get into the reasonableness of that as we break this down. But let's just point out here that Ms. Gibb is hamming up the drama a little bit.
Chat, if this was up to me, it would have been yesterday. Just to let you understand where I stand in all this, it's yesterday. Now you're probably wondering...
Would have never happened yesterday. Like I said, courts do not work like that. That's not how courts work, where everything gets done yesterday. That simply isn't how it's done.
Put yourself. Why does the person who came out with the allegations, why does the person who claimed that I was a stalker and that they're going to the police and they're going to get a restraining order and they're already in the process of it, why does the person who claimed that I was why do they need an extra amount of time to amount to a year so they can get it when you're the one that made the statements in the first place?
There are a lot of reasons we're going to break all of those down, but it's not just because she wants to simply drag this out and cause pain to him. There are a lot of very, very, very good reasons.
I, the one suing you, ready to go yesterday. Wouldn't I be the one that has to get my together because this just came unprompted? But instead, I'm ready to go because I know you're lying. She knows she's lying. And therefore, she's trying to push this as far back as possible so that way she can get it out. Her goal is for us to forget. And her goal is for me to fall off or...
Okay, well, let's stop right there. Hopefully, if Miss Kip is having mental issues, he checks himself in and there's no issues there, because obviously that is a bad thing. But actually, to be clear, if he is having real mental issues, that can actually help his case, because any sort of psychological damage, mental damage, if he goes to the doctor and he documents that, and that's very much real and not just him hamming it up, that actually goes to his damages in his claim. So if he's, what he's saying is real, and what he's saying is he's going through depression or other issues,
spider
then he needs to
bug.
document
Yeah,
that
right.
and put that in with the court. However, there is a reason, and that he is right here, and Ms. Kip does bring up that reason of wanting people to forget. That is actually a very valid tactic in this case. I'll explain that a little later on.
That's the goal. It's hard. Ms. Kip, I hope he just fired up completely. No one cares about him anymore. He basically makes the whole world hate him. And when it
So
finally
now I
comes
guess
out that he
spiders
thinks
can eat
he didn't do those things.
egg,
No
like
one cares.
other dinosaur eggs. Damn.
That's what her goal is.
I guess that's something I could do now. That's just
person I
fucking
helped
great.
the most, the person I grew for 3 years, lied to everybody. And I don't understand how anyone can read this and not think so. Why would she want this to start later? If I really did do these crimes and she had this all ready to go, why does she need extra time? Makes no sense.
It actually does make a lot of sense. Let's break it down. So first off, what Ms. Kip is forgetting is this is not just a lawsuit against Amaru. This is a lawsuit against Amaru, Asmongold, OTK, and Mythic. He decided to sue pretty much everybody, same lawsuit, and because of that, he's got to deal with multiple parties. And when you have to deal with all of these people, you're not going to have a case that's over in 6 months or 7 months. That's just not going to happen. This is going to be something that's dragged out for
I don't even know what I want to
years.
play right now.
And there's something called discovery, which is when you're getting documents, when you're getting depositions, and that's going to be massive in this case. Why?
Also remember,
Well,
hit
because
that
this is
like,
a
hit that sub, follow.
claim.
If you haven't, definitely
You have to go through
tab me
single
up.
text message,
If you haven't,
thousands and thousands
if you
of
could,
text
that'd
messages,
help me out.
DMs,
That's
all
a
that
share.
evidence. You have to
Every
deposition
view
people,
helps.
and mind you, these are
That
streamers
is
that are traveling around the
absolutely
country.
a
Right?
fact.
They're not always available to come in for depositions, and it's not just going to be Miss Kip and Emeru. It's going to be Asmongold, all the friends, anybody who's there, witnesses, people who saw these things.
We are
But
trying to get to 500 on
multiple
YouTube.
Streamers in there, friends, etc. Everybody coming in to
We're
testify.
on the
You're
way.
gonna have expert witnesses because he's claiming psychological, mental damage, medical, evidence. That's all going to need to come in through witnesses, experts, etc. It should need to be hired. They need to have their tests done, etc. And also financial records. That's an important thing of a defamation lawsuit. There has to be damages. So Miss Kip's going to have to put out all of his finances and show, hey, actually I was damaged by this. Here's the money I lost, and that takes a long time. And also, it's going to be looking at what the ongoing harm is to his brand and channel. So as this goes on, is he really taking a lot of damage, or does he recover? Does he come back? That's all very relevant to how this thing plays out. Also, you have corporate document production. So OTK, Mythic, they're going to have to produce a ton of documents. But it's not just that. You've also got the motions and procedures. So Emeru and Asmongold have filed motions to dismiss. The court
That premium edition for Forza, man. Well, I play Forza, but I don't even know the new Horizon game. Looks really good. I'm live, man. What's good? I'm live.
Okay.
Give me a heads up.
Yeah.
Flew around the neighborhood.
Gene locked me in by 2:30.
Cool.
Hello,
motherfucker.
Not the worst I've ever felt.
I didn't think you would.
Yeah.
I also tried to move the air around the house as much as I could.
That's okay. Still fucking gone fine.
Oh god, yeah.
At least here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very true. Hot tub is running, by the way. I Fonzied the hot tub.
Yeah, punched it.
I punched the shit out of it.
And it worked.
Yeah, it worked. Yep, I Fonzied the absolute shit out of it. I didn't fondle the hot tub. Fucking Fonzied. Fonzied, not fondled, you fucking nutter. You are nutty. I believe it. That's the motorcycle for short riders. Absolutely the motorcycle I have. Good J on the side.
You feel it in your bones?
You kind of can. Feel the moisture coming. K-Nubs, what's up?
Howdy.
Yeah, so you guys are going to the elevated bridge, and one aspect of the bridge that is sad is that most people in town, when they're depressed and they have to go somewhere, they go to the bridge. I think there's been multiple
What? It has been filtered. I've been running it. It's hot. It's cold as fuck.
Yeah, that's why I'm popping fidget right now.
The multiple death bridge. How is everyone? What day is it? Tuesday? I feel like a hamburger tonight. That would be delicious. We require us to do something.
It's probably good.
Yep. Just two shut-ins having a good time. Having
Huh?
a good time.
Too much David Lynch without going outside is bad.
Yep. Image quality looks good today. That's for sure. Well, I can't see the chat at all. This is disastrous. You can only see it in the shadow.
Oh, jeez.
I'll never... Oh, what the fuck is that?
Messages like...
What are you gonna do?
So... Somebody gave us a turtle. I don't know what that means. I mean,
Do
I
it.
think it
You
means
should
hurry
try to
up.
stream.
Okay, now I can see. Who's here?
Why
Finn,
is there
what's up,
all
dude?
this freaking noise?
Purple, nice to see you. Mr. Substantial, I'm going to grill the thinnest steaks you can imagine. Goddamn inflation.
Alright, do it.
Make those things.
That game's
Mystery, what's up,
interesting.
dude? Dude, there's something going on with YouTube today. It's like, what's going on down there? Shut the road down?
No, there's an emergency vehicle of some sort.
Do you play Dungeons and Dragons? I have. I've actually played it at Happy Console Gamer's house, which was a bit of an honor.
Misfortune.
Uh-oh, K-Nubs donated. What did he say? I'm having a steak salad at the bar for the Knicks and Cavs later. I'm not going to drink. Well, that's good, dude.
Well, enjoy it. I don't know.
You don't need to drink
I don't know
all the
who
time.
made that game or
You're having a
anything
good
like that.
time. Just have a steak and a salad and relax. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time. You drink? Yeah, when's the last time you had some alcohol?
Probably 4 years.
Wait, you haven't had alcohol total
Yeah,
in 4 years?
that's correct.
What the fuck?
Now, my social life's also taken a dive, but, you know, drain up.
Yeah, I'd rather not drink at all either. I don't miss it either. It makes it fun. I sound like a...
Yeah, when I quit the hangover, that point, I feel like
Oh. 45. The elevated bridge. Squinty. Sorry, guys. Astro, I love you. What did you say? Jay, let's see those beautiful man breasts. You're not seeing my breasts today, buddy. Nope.
Where's the kill?
No fucking
Alright,
breasts for you.
next.
So the weather
Where's
today, what
the
is it?
kill?
Probably about 25 degrees out, 26 degrees. Supposed to be some major climate change, Canada. Okay, it's 27. Siri decided to tell me. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. You know, this kind of reminds me of when we were younger. We used to go on these hikes. And we're so stupid when we're young because we could have just taken the bus and went to like amazing places. Like, why didn't we ever go to the beach and hang out every single day? You know?
because we were dumb. We're dumb children. I think that's the answer.
Yep. We were fucking stupid. Who do we got here? All right, dodge the tornado, says J-Rock. That's my sister's husband.
His son.
Let's get on a side street. man, it's windy. Sorry about the wind. Not even sure you guys can hear me correctly. What's that?
Oh shit! I know what else to play, guys.
Hang on, guys. We're just going to a side street so it's less windy here. Give us a second.
Yeah, no bad and farts.
Yeah, dude, I need to get... Well, the problem is the iPad mini would not fit on here.
That's a whole other rig.
Oh, it fit on the other cable that I have. One sec, guys. Woo, it's windy. Wind's going up my knickers. All right. Let's go right. Fuck this wind. Holy shit. So, Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, lots of people at work. Wind's a bit better on this side, isn't it? Yes. This is way better. Joining us for a hike before a major thunderstorm today, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Apple making one smaller called an iPad Masucci. What?
What's the other side?
The iMasucci? It's like the size of nothing.
So from MW2? No.
K-Nubs.
So from MW2.
How is that, man? I don't know him. I don't talk to him anymore.
Do I
The
sound
wind
like
is throwing me off today.
So from MW2? Can't remember how that makes sense.
The iPad Masucci? So stupid. It'd be like the size of a fucking dime.
By the way, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for watching.
Let's go up this side street. Oh, yeah. Okay. Who do we got here? Oh, no. Oh, no. Raw Dakota gifted 5 memberships.
Oh, look out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Raw Dakota has gifted 5 memberships. Does anyone care? No one. So we got, if somebody gifts a membership, you gotta yell it. Raw Dakota has gifted 5. Confused says Booba, which... Booba, what the fuck? Raw Dakota, thank you for your support. We appreciate it here. So it seems like YouTube is really messed up lately. So it is what it is. We're just gonna push through. I don't even give a shit. Alice, what the fuck? Thank you, brother. Thoughts on... That's a good... Rich, how are you, man? You're still at work? Still at work, eh? Listen, mods, if there's any mods here, get on top of this shit. Alice, how are you, Alice? How's the booch? Doing well. Last night I had like RPG brain worms kind of promoting game. That's been fun. Guys, we got issues. We're trapped. Shortcuts. So, it looks like a tornado touched down in our area a couple days ago. Oddly enough, I think I was in Barrie, Ontario filming. So we missed it. Now, I'm pretty sure we'll be streaming for a while here today, just because we should have walked to get back in about 40 minutes. This wind
Oh yeah, there we go. There goes boys.
What's this? Confused. Poop balls says confused. That is
No,
Listen,
I'm now.
thank you for the gift of messages, by the way, guys. Fried it there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Livestreams. We'll do one more. So Friday's a sleep stream. And Saturday is I hope the last part of Resident Evil 6. That game is very difficult to play. Not a huge fan of it. I know that some people that love that game, but holy shit, is it tedious. Really poorly designed when it comes to the co-op aspect of the game, switching between the characters. Alright, we are about a quarter of the way there. Probably should walk one more. Alright, what is this? He's going to cuddle you on the side. He's leaving by that. Sorry, get cuddles. No fucking cuddles for you. No. He's banned. He's banned. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. You guys had good weekends. What'd you do? I'm trying to think of what I did. So right now we're in there's lots of drug use out here. So if you see, I'm clearly looking at the ground because there's a lot of needles out here. I'd rather not step on a needle. Usually they throw them in the bushes on the side. Let's check in. Finn, what's up, dude? Booch. Mardizzle, how are you? Bought some cookies supposed to be like banana bread? That actually sounds fucking amazing. Jay, you should unicycle stream. How are you? Unicycle. I don't know if I could ride one of those. I'm doing pretty good, man. Oh, the mic is late. You know what? The mic is fired. talk and look at the screen because it makes me, it gives me vertigo. Delicious. Let's go. I think we can go one more. No, we shouldn't go one more. Mr. Williamson, thank you, my friend. Can you find my beaver?
Like a double.
Look at that, look at that. What's his name? What's the beaver's name? Mr. Williamson, let us know. By the way, let's just be honest for a second. Let me tell you something. Just killing homeless people. There's also Bigfoot sightings happening. Like legitimate people are posting photos of them. Yeah, no, it looks like a giant. Now, is it probably? But there's been 3 sightings of that. So like 45 minutes that way. You know, I kind of want to do that was fun. Only problem is that
Anything got you?
Bigfoot got you?
The iron, grim iron.
That was fun. Yep. Not at all.
Yeah.
So how?
Because terrestrial geography
So you're saying if there was a Bigfoot, we wouldn't have found it?
Yeah, where's the scat? Show me the scat.
That's, well, I only bring that up about UFOs. There's a billion photos.
Get it.
Well, it's cell phones. You would assume that you would get UFO.
On Earth.
What?
As far as, yeah, how much do you think they're like, are they a pocket or are they like more like an ape that's I think they're like social.
I think a lot of people think that they're like Harry and the Hendersons upper.
Like you think you could teach them to read?
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like Bigfoot is.
Like this.
That's a good question, actually. Can you teach Bigfoot to read? Guys. Like, how many times are you gonna run into this thing?
I'll walk on the other side.
Holy fuck.
There's probably a lot. Yep.
Yeah, non-stop. Wait. Remember we made that joke where it was like, hurry up, go. So, to answer your question about Bigfoot there, Can you teach Bigfoot to learn? I wonder. Again, why is there no footage of him? Like flat out, here's camera, boom. Like somehow he's just evading the footage nonstop.
Yeah, it seems a little too mystical to be real.
Yeah.
You know, it's like with Nessie, you know, like how could a body of water
Resident
that
9
size,
recommend.
like,
But I'm gonna grab a
house
snack.
enough wildlife to feed a fucking plesiosaur? You know, like sometimes you just gotta apply logic to the situation.
I think I think the school's shutting down. So guys, yeah, we have a crazy school here that's being shut down, and I'm gonna try to get us in there at one point. Look at this school. It's massive. And it looks like it is being shut down. Now, I don't know why, but it is quite spooky. Look at it. It's also just continuous. Yeah. So yeah, if Bigfoot is out there, right? God damn it. By the way, how's our audio? Audio good? Okay, let's take a break under this tree so I can check audio. Okay. Audio's good, thanks guys. So how many of you believe in Bigfoot, and is he intelligent? Or is he, what were you saying? Essentially, is he just like a dog that's standing up? Dumb as nails.
Is it a big ape, or is it like an early, like a human?
Well, if you think back in the history of man, if we evolved from ape, how come he would be left behind? He chose to. He's like, I'm out of here.
Well, I guess in that kind of situation, it would usually be if it was like a very isolated, like place where only one like hominid would have evolved in that area. It's sort of like there's that there's an island in Southeast Asia that has like a tiny
population of
they had like a specific species of hominid that were like 4 feet tall, but it's because they just lived on the island, and so their physiology was based on just that one place, and they didn't mix with any other other types of hominids in the area. So yeah, I think it has to be super isolated for something like that to happen. So it doesn't make sense like in North America that's just so sprawling
that we would have pockets
that were that remote and you know, it's not even like we have crazy valleys or anything that are impossible to reach.
Sick, guys. Dude, we're risking our lives to be out here.
Okay.
Guys, we're risking our lives to be out here. We've got gusts up to 109 kilometers tonight. The church will probably blow down. But you do bring up some good points about Bigfoot. I feel like the odds of a humanoid creature sustaining life in a very small pocket with that much surrounding area to discover,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense that he would not go outside of that and evolve.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that he wouldn't find them like rummaging in your trash, like if he lived in the woods.
They'd kind of be like raccoons.
Yeah, because they'd be omnivores. So yeah, if they found like, you know, human civilization, you would expect that they would they'd try to scavenge for food.
Good point. You know, and you're right about that. If Bigfoot's out there just north of us 45 minutes, where is his shit?
Yeah, they're very, unless they're very fastidious about it, and you know, like they go for a dookie and they like wrap it up in leaves and they
cover it.
They carry it around all day.
Well, that would what? So now we're implying it's intelligent enough to throw us off the scent of a Bigfoot.
Yeah, I think it's getting smarter and smarter. Like the more we try to make it real,
yeah,
because it would have to be really smart.
Yeah, that's...
Or like have access to like, you know, interdimensional portals where they can just like disappear when we're cleansing them. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Mike, sometimes I wonder if my wife is a descendant of Bigfoot. That's one way to get her back, Mike.
Yeah, that should go well for you.
Mike, thank you for the support. Look, he's been a member for 56 months.
Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting our lovely friend.
Thank you. Let's show some of downtown. Sorry about the wind. All right, we're almost in the core of downtown. I don't know how well you guys can hear us right now. It should be pretty good because I have voice isolation on. Let me know in the chat if the audio is bad. You probably can't hear the surroundings, which could be a little strange since there's a lot of hustle and bustle around us. Hang on, J-Rock, what did he say? Sometimes I wonder if my wife is a descendant of your mother. Yeah. Do you have anything to say about my mom and sister? That's the husband's watching.
No, I withdraw my I withdraw my ability to comment on that.
Did you see that, Jay? He won't even comment on my mom and sister because he knows. Sea Monkey, what's up? Should we cross? Let's cross. You know what? Let's go straight. Get out of this fucking part of the city. Go to the elevated bridge. Thanks for the support today, guys. Appreciate the super chats. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in. I know a lot of people are at work, so it takes a little while for you guys to show up. Today, we're going to the elevated bridge. This is a bridge that they have turned from train tracks into an elevated park, which some might say is not a great idea. Oh yeah. Hey kids, where are you going? Oh, we're going to the elevated park to drink. And it's like, So let's check out the safety regulations on this park as well. Because if I had kids and they were like, we're going to the elevated park, I'd be like, fuck you are.
I'll elevate you.
Yeah, exactly. You find it weird that you and I never had kids?
No. Not at all.
At all,
I
right?
would find it super weird if we had kids.
Oh, God, if you and I had kids? Ugh. Oh, I hate
the friends of ours that have had kids, it made sense to me.
Dan Rowe?
Yeah. Huh. I know it's weird, but it made sense to me.
Yeah, I guess so. Right. We can't escape this fucking wind today, eh? Oh well. Maybe over here's less. So, we're actually not that far from the bridge already. So this is a section of town you guys have never been in before. Never brought you guys over here. This would be, I think they would call this the courthouse area. Now around the courthouse itself, that's where the oldest houses are in town. I believe most of them were built in 1890s. For some of these, they're over 110, 120 years old. I'll show some of them off as we get closer down there. I know you guys actually like seeing a bit of a tour of the city. That on the right there has been renovated, but that's one of the oldest churches. I'll show it in a second. So this right there, that's one of the oldest churches in town, but it's been renovated many a time over. They're also the nicest church, allowing homeless people to not sleep on their property by putting up a fence surrounding the complete church.
Yeah.
To make sure that the homeless population does not touch.
Could not possibly get help or shelter.
Yes. So thank you for that, church. You're great. That's the complete opposite of what you preach, but okay.
Christian love.
So, yeah, that church is one of the, I would say one of the, I don't know, you would use, what's the term? Scummiest? All right, who do we got here? Don't get me wrong, there are some churches that allow you to go up to them at least. John Adams, thanks for saying that over and over and over. You're about to be fucking banned. Thank you for that. Satan, how are you, buddy? Hail Satan, by the way.
Hail Satan.
Cheetah, how are you, Cheetah? Booch, nice to see you. So you guys are excited for this, I believe. Some of you are super excited. Message me. Yep, Sea Monkey says that's pretty messed up and the opposite of what most churches stand for, which is absolutely.
Happy Tuesday.
Portable ham sandwich, how are you, buddy? Carvel, nice to see you. I appreciate you. Guys, I appreciate everybody. I love all of you. Thank you for tuning in today. So let's continue this walk. We're about halfway to the bridge, maybe less. Once we get to the bridge, I think we'll take a better way home, but the bridge is pretty long, so let's go check that out. Also on the way to the bridge, maybe we should stop at the old church again. There's a cemetery up here that has a really ridiculous myth. And the myth is, well, at least the myth goes, there was a witch that was burned at the stake in St. Thomas in the 1800s, and they buried her in the cemetery, and it's believed that every year on Halloween, her tombstone lights on fire, which would explain why it's the only tombstone in the cemetery that is actually ash black. Now, of course, that's absolute nonsense, and I'm sure it has something to do with corrosion. But let's go check it out as well. Jonas will touch it and get cursed. I'll have to do mouth-to-mouth to save him. But it's quite a nice day out. Even the elderly have tattoos out here, right?
Yeah.
Fucking weird. It's weird seeing that shit. Like, tattoos have went from, like, this smaller niche thing to, you know, preset fucking churches have, like, neck collars. So here, look at this. This is another positive sign in the town. No offense if you're religious, but here's another church that's shut down due to lack of support, which I'm not surprised now. Now, I'd love to go in there and show you it, but she's a goner. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Probably sell it off, turn it into apartment buildings. However, looks like we got some major renovations going on inside, so I'm assuming that they're going to turn this church into
probably apartments.
Apartment center or a community center of some nature. I'd hate to be this guy living right here. Get stuck next to the decaying church, the desanctified church. Lots of churches in town are going downhill, which probably a good sign. So out of respect, I'm not gonna really bring it up in front of the guy's house, but we're about to pass a house. If you guys remember, I told you guys that story about 2 years ago. There was a young boy on the main street there that got struck by a drunk driver, dead instantly. His father lives right up in one of these houses up here. Oh my God, look, this right here, guys. That's the association that I actually was part of. Big Brother Association, where essentially if you have no father figure in your life, you have this sort of stepfather or stepbrother that takes you to hockey games and takes you out for events, kind of steps in as your father figure. I had one of those when I was growing up. Did I know you around that time? No, I didn't.
No, I think that was before.
So here's some of the typical houses in this area. On the left side here, you'll notice some of these houses are huge. Some of them are smaller, but some of these farmhouses, this right here, for example, is one of the old farmhouses. It's less of a house and more of a mansion that sits on the corner here now. And I actually love these types of designs. Probably comes out of, there's no date on this one. Usually there's dates, but I don't see one. And then you're gonna get more renovated houses in this area. So that's what a typical Canadian house kind of looks like at the moment. Or another bigger one like this.
Really good.
Now I'm gonna show you something incredible that's in town that no one really talks about anymore. I don't know the name of it. Maybe I will see the name in a second, but it is... No, I don't see a name on it, but let's cross the road, then I'll show you it. I think that was Megan's dad. Forgot the camera's not pointed at him.
AI Control Center. Noah.
Watch this, guys. This is insane. You know the movie Dawn of the Dead?
Containment
The original
protocol
was in 78.
inactive. Containment protocol
Right here.
inactive.
What you're looking at right there, guys, was the attempt at creating an ecosystem where people could live in their apartments and essentially park right out back, but also have a whole shopping mall underneath of them. Now, Josh tells me that this center here was pretty freaking bustling back in the 70s and the 80s when he was a young boy. But now, the mall that's inside of there has been completely gutted. And it's considered one of the empty malls in town. Of course, it did not survive, but I love how they have the parking and they're actually doing renovations on it because they believe that the city is going to turn it around. Yeah. We all can't wait to get to the mall. So that is another oddity in town. Just this giant building in the center of town that really doesn't serve a purpose except being an apartment building nowadays. I've also heard stories of homeless people just getting into the mall and turning the mall into their own personal houses.
What?
Which is good. Mall entrance right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you can.
We should go walk around that mall on the way back. Yeah, it's called the Skyline, guys. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is Spawn. Okay, I was wondering what that was. We got a lot of law offices.
AI Control
for some odd
Center.
reason.
Noah.
So it's called Grand
Failure.
Central,
No
named after,
response.
of course, a reference to
Containment protocol
business of
inactive.
trains.
Containment
There's a
protocol
billiard and dart
inactive.
room. Look at what it says there. Look, it says rooftop pool, which I don't think's open anymore. Billiards and dart room, fitness facilities, pet friendly, and social events. It reminds me of where we grew up.
Top of the ground, I love ground.
How are you guys doing? There's a robust rooftop pool there. We're very close to the elevated bridge. It actually made it here quicker than I thought. 50 minutes. I won't film to the left, where my lawyer exists. Now that's the courthouse down there. Massive building. We should show them another time. All right, how are you guys? Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little tour. Didn't even know you were streaming. Glamorous, you're fired. Fuck. How are you guys? Let's get to the bridge, where it definitely won't be windy. Oh, no. So I know some people were asking me, what's the actual vibe out here in St. Thomas? Can you give it a vibe? Now, I'm not talking about the drug vibe. Just like small town vibe. Is it good or is it a bad vibe?
It's an okay vibe. It's pretty standard. Small town Ontario. It's not as
Let's see if I can get the fuck out.
there are a couple of larger towns around here that are a little scuzzier.
Oh yeah,
Druggies and all that, but it's pretty low key.
Situation that I keep
Just
finding myself.
super white. And
Yeah, bottle of acid.
yeah, it's
No idea.
it's got cute areas, really nice Victorian houses.
Literally married here.
Yeah, you could buy for much song in this market.
That one's falling down. I'm gonna murder you.
Yep. But yeah, I think it's nicer than your average.
Yeah, it's clean. You'll give it that.
It is pretty clean.
Like, look at the ground. You know, you could usually judge a town by how the cleanliness of it is. And if you look around town, there's no, it might be here and there, but like, look, it's pretty clean. Game of Survivor, thanks for being a member for 15 months. David wants to be that before your time. So Dave Holmes is credit. What was it? 500? We're in the courthouse neighborhood, as it's called. Let's go down here. Now, down here is where there's something special. And you'll see. I remember doing that as a kid. Sprinkle it. I miss those times. Absolutely. So guys, I got a story for you guys coming up here in a second. And this just happened recently. So I'm going to take you guys to who is that? Have I ever tasted the Masucci milk?
No, come on.
No. The answer to that is absolutely not. I've never actually met.
AI Control Center.
him in real life.
Noah. Reboot failure. No response. Containment protocol inactive.
This church
Containment
you're about to see,
protocol
I've shown it off
inactive.
on stream before. And they have been doing extensive remodeling of the area. And in doing so, they have to dig up the surrounding area of the church. Well, I saw where they were putting the lines of where they were going to dig, and I said, that's way too close to the cemetery markers. Guess what happened? Exactly what I said would happen. They actually dug up 2 caskets by mistake. Imagine getting a phone call. Yeah, we accidentally dug up your grave. looks like they've sold the property. So this is the line. We're gonna go in there for a sec. We'll probably get a neighbor running out like usual. What are you boys doing in there? Look at. So they dug the body up on the left side by mistake. So let's show you the cursed tombstone. I know. There's some in here that are really old, that literally just say husband on them and wife. So here it is. This is the famous witch's tombstone. Normally, it's blocked off. You're not supposed to cross over this line here. So that is it, guys. Do you think it's haunted? What do you think?
No, it's the wife, so-and-so, wife of...
What's it from? 19... What's the date? 19... See, I don't see the date ever.
Let me see. November 25, 1840.
1840.
Yeah, it's just hard to read.
Do you believe that this ever lit on fire? Why do you think it looks like this?
I think what you
that
do
like
yourself
Oh yeah, there's a lot of ants there. How are you guys? Looks pretty haunted. Well, you should see in the church here. So I guess in this town to be haunted, your tombstone needs to be flattened. So let's go show you the church quickly. I don't think we can get in right now, but they do open houses, and I know it's yeah, this is where they accidentally digged up the bodies on the side of the church here. But what's crazy about this church is that it's from 1820. So if you see inside here, I don't know how well I can show you outside.
Yes.
It doesn't have nothing to run the bike today.
It's quite spooky in there.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Is it gonna rain like all night? What's the?
Look closely. If you look closely,
Okay.
there's a top balcony.
Well, thanks for letting me know.
On the top, it's hard to see.
Are you riding?
Balconies, guys. So those
You just
top
taking
balconies
the
used to hold convicted felons in Canada.
Well, you taking your okay, what's it called rain slicks?
Individuals up into the
rain
balcony,
slick
there's
for it.
no escaping, so they can attend church, but also not be a danger to people in the church, which I always thought was super interesting.
Wasn't it in your locker?
Yeah, but then we put it in yours.
Yeah, I still have it.
Okay.
And he was like,
If
"What
you
are you guys
need it,
doing over
if
here?"
you need it,
Like,
I still got mine.
history of the church. And he's like, "Oh, did you know this? Did you know that?" So he actually explained a lot of what happened with this church. Now, the church has extremely racist roots, which I'm not even need to discuss, it's obvious. But if you read that line, St. Thomas Church, what does that say? 1824.
Fucking damn it.
I forget exactly the date. Let me go read it. Not to you guys. Yeah, it was blah, 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 blah. So yeah, one of those guys is like an extremely
Control
racist
center.
figure from the
No.
area, so who gives a shit about him?
Reboot failure. No response.
I think it might be.
Containment protocol inactive. Containment protocol inactive.
So that is the haunted church. they call it haunted because of the witch's curse that's on the property, but, you know, there's no proof of it. It'd be amazing to show up here in October and all of a sudden the fucking thing's on fire. That'd be weird. Not the church, the tombstone, to be clear. How are you guys? Oh, this is for rent, eh? For sale. Canadians were always rich. I think they still are. Roman, thank you for being a member for 21 months. Appreciate you. Stacy, is that what I'm seeing? Thank you. Let's get over to the bridge. Who else do we still have here? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Just having a bit of fun today, going to some locations and giving you guys some history. Now, most of the houses you're going to see in the background for the next little block or so are from the 1800s. Some of them have been renovated. Most of them have not, and you can tell by the decay of them. So, elevated bridge, what is it? Elevated bridge is a stretch of train track that went through town. They built this bridge back in the heyday of the town. This is also when, I think I showed you guys Jumbo, the elephant that got hit. He's just on the other side there, but we're not going there. We've seen Jumbo. There is the elevated St. Thomas elevated park. So, the second is we do not believe there's a possibility of it, or just no way.
No way.
Yeah, well, the problem I have with this no way in hell talk is that UFOs, aliens, you'd have to say that as well, wouldn't you?
No.
But you just think that it just goes further out there, which allows more things to exist.
Well, I mean, literally, like, infinite
AI Control Center. No. Reboot failure. No response.
Why is there no
Containment protocol inactive. Containment protocol inactive.
Having their barbecues.
Where are these fucking Bigfoots, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for the dollars. I appreciate that, by the way. So before we head up to the elevated bridge, I'll show you the outside of it here. So this right here is the opening. That used to be the train tracks. This was a tunnel. So the train used to go right over this. And if you look closely, you can still see there's a cutout of train tracks that goes across town here. So here's the start of it. This is the elevated park. Let's go. Here's the rules. Open desk gone. Keep pets on leashes because they can jump to their fucking death. Pick up, place, stay on the path. Do not go in the weeds because I believe there's some dangerous shit in there. Don't climb the fences. Don't throw items from the bridge. There you go.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple rules.
AI Control Center.
Let's go see.
Noah. Reboot failure.
Let's see if Jonas
no
can follow
response.
all those rules. It's very difficult. For him.
Containment protocol
You might break one or two.
inactive. Containment protocol inactive.
So tomorrow I'll be going live from the set because we have a major thunderstorm warning in effect tonight. There's actually tornado warnings happening. So tonight's going to be a shit show in town. We are only doing the one stream today, then I'll be back tomorrow from the set. You guys scared? Scared of the elevated bridge? Here we go. How elevated?
Pretty damn elevated.
It's scary.
I think at this point it feels sort of like maybe 60 feet.
I think it is. It's at least 60 feet up. It gets
See you work, dude.
So there's some sculptures and art along the way. So you can kind of see how we're rising. Now this would actually be great for a location to film. If I wanted to film some like dudes on a BMX bike up the road, I would film it from right here. Now that's a cool shot. There you go. Or on this side of the bridge. Oh, cool. I'm gonna mark this down in my mind because I'm definitely gonna use it. It'd be perfect to get a shot of the car turning. Speaking of which, here we go, watch. Yeah, it'll work. What do you think?
Free library.
Let's see what's in the free library. Last time I checked, there was some conversion books, so I'm sure that... Oh, here.
Carrie Fisher.
Oh, that's probably a good one.
Wishful drinking. That's a classic.
Any religious nonsense?
No.
I'm surprised.
It's like a lot of just...
There, what?
The death of Mrs. Westaway.
No, look down there, look.
Oh yeah, no, that's... Okay, Savior for you. Oh, we got... that looks pretty.
How are you guys? We're about to walk onto the elevated bridge. Is there a photo of the wall? Oh God. Okay, let's go. So as we walk out here, you'll notice that we start to get higher and higher because the land surrounding this area drops like a fucking brick. I think we're up around 100 feet up. Carrie Fisher did a book? Yes. Carrie Fisher was a prolific writer, wasn't she?
Yeah, she talked a lot about battling alcoholism.
So how are you guys? Listen, love the stream, love the peen, love the booch. Okay, I'm going to switch to surround sound audio for you guys. So now you guys should hear the surrounding area. Hear some of the wind.
It's so dimensional.
This is the elevated part. Yay! It's windy. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the support. Guys, it's a low support stream. Please support with your donations now, or Jonas will not be eating dinner.
It's the best way of doing this, I think.
Thank you. Here we go.
I got
Elevated park. You
ammunition,
guys ready? This is
bottles,
a former train track going over the city.
acid, sorry, two bottles of acid, 3 bottles,
Very weird atmosphere up here.
20 rounds.
Obviously, you do not expect there to be a park like this, but it is actually quite nice to be up here. So on the left side, I believe there is farmland. Right side farmland, except there is a gun range out here. Just don't remember where it is exactly, but here's how high we are. This is the elevated bridge. That's elevated. How high
Can you
is
turn
this
your
bridge?
mic off for a sec?
What's up?
Is it pop up?
Okay, I get the wind protection on, so let's see the rest of this bridge. I think it took them about a year to build this, oddly. So some people have donated money. And it goes quite a ways here. I've never walked across the whole thing, so let's do it. This is crazy. Right here is Love is in the Air. This is where Booch and I put our locket.
Do you remember where it is?
No. This is two men on Love. Love is in the Air. Look at this. What the fuck? There's a woman on that.
Yeah, that's some.
So guys, this actually gets taken down once in a while because they get too many locks on it.
Oh, there you are.
What? Yeah.
Oh, there you are again. Butt the sled.
Small town shenanigans. Now the thing is, I don't know where the police are. We could be going to the fucking Here's the Kingsman sunshade. Doesn't seem to be working.
Not doing a lot of shading.
AI Control Center.
Just two men on a bridge.
Reboot failure.
People keep saying just two men, but technically that's not true.
Containment protocol inactive. Containment protocol inactive.
Alright, what is this thing? Is this a musical thing? This is a musical thing. Musical. And what's this? Okay. So guys, there's this structure here. There's more. Oh, look, this is one of those talkie things. If you go over there and yell at people, we'll hear you on this side. What? Say that again. It's windy. Let's get this. All right, what are those? Some mysterious bugs. Witches. Holy shit, the witches are out. Don't you know the witches are out? Now it's quite scary here because look, you can just it's scary. So multiple people have jumped here, unfortunately. Sorry about the wind. So I don't know what these are. Yeah, these are just lights. And that's it. It's on one side here. I wonder how far this actually goes. Never walked. Pretty windy up here. Sorry about that, but not much we can do. All right, should we turn back now? Oh, did I miss a super chat? Guys, did I miss super chats? Sorry. K-Nubs with $1. Thank you, my friend.
AI Control
Roman,
Center.
thank you.
Noah.
I did not miss one.
Reboot failure. No
Those are
response.
tombs?
Containment protocol.
Well, this
inactive.
goes a while. Look how far this
Containment
goes.
protocol
Yeah,
inactive.
we should look at what these signs are.
Wait, where are they coming from on the right? We should go down there.
Right?
Yes, we're gonna do some crazy exploring.
Looks like there's an arboretum trail.
What's a fucking arboretum?
Like a tree sanctuary.
Oh.
Yeah, it's showing all the.
Ooh, we're good, guys. We're finding a tree sanctuary. Oh shit! Trees. So you guys having a good weekend? Weekday, I should say. Weekday. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Thank you. So that isn't
this maybe?
AI control center.
No, that just looks like a random trail. This looks like we're gonna be murdered.
No response.
Get murdered.
Okay, let's go look.
Containment
Guys,
protocol
we're going
inactive.
going into
Containment
fucking Wall
protocol
of Man.
inactive.
Okay, this is a little weird.
Definitely a lot of garbage in this ravine.
Oh, Froggo!
AI control center. Noah. Reboot failure.
Where'd he go?
No response.
There he is.
Containment
Guys, we got a
protocol
toad.
inactive. Containment protocol inactive.
Toad alert.
Dude, that was totally awesome. Guys, this is not good. This is if you're just tuning in, we're about to either get shot or we're about to find a pet cemetery or wall of Man out here. I don't know where we're going. Let's just do it.
I'm into it.
Guys, we're getting lost in the woods out here.
Oh, there's the construction site. Is that an old car?
So if you're just tuning in, we took you guys to the elevated bridge, but now we're going down a path which, okay, we have an option here, guys. Raw Dakota says body found in 321. Yeah. No shit, there's a chance we'll find a body. Should we go straight, guys, or to the right? To the right looks like it goes down to the bottom of the bridge. They're saying Leonis run, it's a trap. Biff, let's go. Okay, here we go. So if you're tuning in, we're going on a new path. I have no idea where it goes. It looks a little treacherous on one side to my right. Looks like if you fall down there, it's not fun. Okay, this is actually interesting because, and I'm not just saying this, but this is the side, so Bigfoot was seen about half an hour that way. Guys, Bigfoot sighting was half an hour this way.
Yeah, we'll smell it and tell you.
I smell a fire. I smell like fire. And I'm not even having a stroke. No, that's a fire for real, like an actual fire outside fire. Is there a fire out here? Is that where that white cloud's coming from? Let's keep looking. Do you think we're leading ourselves to death? I don't know. All I know is that the chances of us finding a body out here is probably guaranteed. Yeah, I guess let's do it. So guys, this is what we see. I think this is like a homeless. of homeless. That sounds close. Do you hear that? Okay, let's go. Let's go deeper into the woods, guys. This is a great idea. So we know there's homeless people out here. And we know that wallet guy is killing homeless people, so this is awesome. There's your pillow you lost.
Yep. Still got my bite marks.
Guys, I don't know about this, but let's keep going. I wish I brought my stab.
Yeah.
Right or left?
You can get more of an outlook over here. Plus you get the lighting spot.
Oh. Guys, we got another fire out here. Dude, we're literally, dude, that smells fresh too. Guys, I feel like we shouldn't be here right now. Like, it feels like we are actually stating where homeless people camp. And I'm not kidding about this. Look at all the fire. Dude, why is there so much fire happening? People cooking here all the time?
Probably. There's a lot of sand here or something.
Terrence has been missing. He moved to St. Thomas to be closer to you, says Raw Dakota. Dude. I didn't bring any toilet paper. I got a shit suit. Again. This is gonna be an issue. Alright, well. Where is there a toilet out here? Guys, we're gonna have to get in the woods. I don't even. Did I bring any toilet paper? Guys, I'm gonna go shit in the woods. Just stay with them. Don't.
Are you sure you don't want to see Jay take a rotted shit in the woods? No, I'm not gonna make you do that. Ask Wallet Guy for paper. Yeah, we definitely will if we see him. Maybe see if we can do any favors for some time for him. Jay's sitting in the middle of the trail to assert his dominance. Just because, you know, if the Bigfoot comes around, we want them to know, you know, who's the boss. Yeah. How much to show Jay shitting in the woods? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get fed tonight if I show him shitting in the woods. So we'll set it at $1 million. How am I? I'm good. Thank you, Glamorous Frog. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've been doing well. Actually, partner and I are looking into moving out of Toronto and buying a house somewhere. So, like, millennials owning houses? What the fuck is that? I don't know. But, yeah, doing adulting things, you know? Enjoying the weather, you know? Getting outside. It's great to see me back. Oh, that's fucking sweet. Thank you so much. No, I do really like to be good inside the studio. People start talking about gaming, and then I lose my shit. And I melt into a puddle on the floor, and then I run away like the piece of shit that I am. Buy a house near Jay. It's gonna be closer here than Toronto, for sure. I do rent in Toronto. Mystery. Yeah, I do rent in Toronto. We have like one of those unicorn rent control places. So like, we're paying like $1,500 for a 2-bedroom with skylights and a rooftop patio, and we're getting rent evicted, so there's no way we're ever going to find a place that cheap and good in Toronto, so we're running away. Oh, we have to give it up because our landlord is tearing it down and turning it into 4 units, so we do have the right of first refusal, so I mean, if we wanted to stay in one of his shitty units, he'd have to offer it to us, but you know, it's gonna suck. Yeah, it kind of sucked because this is our second rent eviction. The last one was really lucky because it ended up that this apartment that we have now was opening up like directly across the alleyway from the shitty basement apartment we were living at. And so we just basically like moved across the alley upstairs into a way better place. But this time we're getting priced out of Toronto. And but looking forward to a change. You know, we've been in Toronto since it's been like 11 years now, so I'm looking forward to something different. Maybe you know, a little bit of you know, quiet, a little bit more nature.
Anyone's made it yet.
Looking forward to having a detached house where I can put in like a rehearsal space and be loud if I want to do, and yeah, just being able to like customize your house and build weird shit inside of it that you can't do in a rental. I am gonna miss Toronto to some degree, but I think, you know, we'll still be in driving distance, so I'll probably visit a fair amount. Oh, look, the shirtless shitter's back.
Successfully shit in the woods. Did you get some super chats?
No.
You didn't get a super chat? That's one. No? They don't like you. Guys, I just shit in the woods. I feel great. I had just enough toilet paper to clean my butthole. So should we go down? This path here, we'll go down this. So, yeah, if you go that way, it gets pretty creepy. I think this is like an old They were here today. Mystery, we need to see the shit pile. Dude, I lost it already. It was massive. There was huge shit in the woods, guys. Thank you for watching this shit. Look at this little pillar here. Look, how do we get to the place? Can someone make her up? Thank you, Mystery. How are you, by the way? Thanks for the support. If you're just tuning in, I hope you guys are enjoying this adventure. We're in the woods right now, off to the side of the elevated park. And it's something. There's something going on here with the homeless population. Obviously, they come here and camp, probably because they're left alone up here. I wouldn't mind going down. Hot, how are you for hot level? Yeah, it's not that bad. Here's our point of view, guys. So the bridge, way over there where we crossed, now we're here. What's this? Does JKB shoot in the face? How are you guys? Who do we got here? Ben, nice to see you. Shane, nice to see you. Power ass. Thank you. Yeah, it's official. We're in the middle of the woods up here. It's a little scary. If you look closely right there, there's an old truck that's abandoned. So we got abandoned trucks and trailers, and there's peanuts all over the ground. So it looks fresh. Probably a lot of homeless people sex happening out here. K-Nuts. Oh yeah, if you guys have any questions for Jonas or I, go ahead. Thanks for your wisdom. I'm no longer sleeping with the crackhead.
Congratulations. That's progress.
That is a good idea. When you said that you had the choice between a crackhead and a mentally disturbed, you chose the crackhead, and I said, that's probably a bad idea, K-Nuts. The crackhead's probably the worst idea. And she probably stole your fucking van. Didn't she? You feeling limber? Guys, we're going down the hill. We're going down the hill now. Little ravine down here. I don't know if there probably is no way to get through to the other side of the river. So this is pointless. Let's do it. This trail is less water than the trail up there. That's for sure. Listen, I'm late start running from Bigfoot. Okay. Sorry guys, we got a crash there. I'm back. Thank you, Spookster. Guys, we are here. This is maybe not path.
I wonder if Leon's made it yet.
Get over this little hill here. We'll see where it goes.
Across from the barbed wire on the left here? Okay, this was a mistake, I think. Like, we're starting to get into the swampy coldness vibes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Got your river right there.
Maybe this is where the homeless take back. Alright, chances to find a body here. I would say hi. Oh yeah, look where we are, buddy. Look where we fucking are. Lego Batman, is it out? I did not know that the base of this was actually we should be able to cross this. Yeah, the Batman game's out, eh? I'm gonna play that for sure. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Should we go? What do you think? Around this way or up? Horizon. I got that gifted to me from Xbox, so I will be playing Horizon within the next couple of weeks on the show. Up? You want to peek around that corner? Tell us if we're fucked? Yeah. He's gonna do recon for us. Thank you for the support, by the way. Found a body. Support team. We're very close to the support beams right now. So, guys, look at this. Yeah, this is where people jump to their death. Literally. People died right next to us. Right where we're standing. That's spooky.
If you want to go back.
Like, dude, look at how fucking spooky this is. I don't know, man. You guys can't see the elevation. That's a pretty steep little climb right there. Jonas, do you like anime? If so, what are your top 3?
I wouldn't call myself an anime person, but top 3 probably Akira, Princess Mononoke, and Spirited Away. Pretty basic bitch choices. This guy will not stop with the body switches, unfortunately, and so we're gonna pause again and let the incontinent old man do his thing. What are you? What kind of anime are you into, Radiko?
Thank you, Raw.
And thank you as well. Ninja Scroll. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things on Ninja Scroll. Our buddy, our childhood friend Dan Rowe is big into Ninja Scroll. He used to tell us to watch that back in the 90s. Still haven't.
Oh yeah, he never shuts up about that.
No, he wouldn't. Still doesn't. Yep. Just hanging out in the woods. It's a urinating old man. Feel like he might be close to completion. Yeah. Yep. He's just got to shake it 20 times and we'll be on our way.
Do you think we're good? Yep.
That's right. Jay's shitting, pissing everywhere. I think the next one we're going to stop to have a little bomb, maybe?
Yep.
All right.
Hey guys, how are you? Scott, thank you. I still think it's funny that you can preload. Scott, are you the only person, guys, if you're just tuning in, oh, we lost 30 viewers. If you're just tuning in, Scott's able to preload Grand Theft Auto 6 on his Xbox Series X. If you don't believe me, go look at his post on Twitter. Now, I know Scott, and I don't think Scott would make that up. So it is quite interesting that Scott was able to fucking preload GTA 6. I gotta look into it because it seems unbelievable.
Failure detected.
All right, we're letting Ionis guide us through the exit here. I think he's doing a pretty good job here. I think. Good. Let's get the fuck out of here. I've had enough of it. Oh, chippies! Chipmunks!
Over there. Easy as pie.
He was cute. Oh, we did it! We did it! I think we need to find some water. I got water in my backpack, but it's probably fucking hot. Alright, let's go, boys. Now we are going under the bridge.
Oh, shit.
So, of course...
You gotta be kidding me.
It is intimidating. Hey?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's pretty healthy beast.
Oh.
Containment
Pretty
breach.
nice architecture.
System-wide
Like,
surveillance
that big metal
failure
grades.
detected.
Yeah. So I don't know how many people have jumped from this bridge. My guess is up to 20. 20 people. Now, there's a very famous story about a woman who jumped from here during a blizzard. And her body actually was covered by the snow during this blizzard. And they didn't find her body until it melted. So that's all it takes. So yeah, it's sad to know that people have died right here. Lost them too.
Oh, shit. You've got to be kidding me.
Hey boys, we're at a bridge. What do you guys think? We're not coming for you. How is everybody? You guys good? You guys good out there? Who do we got? How hot is it over here? Right now, I think it's, hey Siri, what's the temperature here?
It's about 27 degrees outside.
27 degrees, guys. So it's a little hot out. It isn't ridiculous, but it is definitely a little hot out. Hang on, we're crossing a big section here, guys. Now you guys get to see the elephant. That's cold, says Raymond. I wish it was cold out here, dude. We've got some major thunderstorms rolling in. My room is that temperature, Jesus. Thanks for the support, by the way. I'll be back on set tomorrow, so we still have to show you guys the elephant up here. Yeah, you can tell that area we were just walking in is like just homeless valley. So I'm thinking we just have to walk up this side of the road to get up here. I gotta invest in like a little buggy to bring us around. Motorized buggy. Alright, hey, no storm chasing. They're calling for severe thunderstorms today, and you can feel the wind is picking up already. I'm a little scared of the storms here, because the storms out here get out of hand. There's a barbecue, you can chill in the wind. I wanted to, but
Not done yet.
we're flat. Ignore it.
A few days ago, a Canadian Genshin Impact YouTuber decided young men are cooked. Or because Asmongold tweeted something incendiary about AI and women. More on that later. But in 15 minutes, this guy managed to force his face into mentally ill. A degenerate forced the victim to question both their science, then the audacity to crown their son.
That's crazy.
Get this. He's got a wife, kids, and retired. That's his entire Zero engagement. Just pure concern.
Yeah?
As an olive branch.
What a nasty little rat.
hacked his entire channel and privated everything except 2 videos. But he's actually part of a much bigger. The Manosphere is a sea of guys selling and a $99 a month subscription to...
I think this is so ridiculous. I mean, no, I will never.
From a Miami football surrounded by Instagram something he
Adonis
Iman Ghazi sells you agency courses on Dubai. Half of these guys are filming from rented Airbnbs in Marbella, pretending it's their lifestyle. The entire business model is the same. Say something provocative, build a following of insecurity, then monetize that following through courses and memberships that sell you.
He's laying it out, bro. Like, this is, yeah, exactly.
The solution to the problem the content itself created. And then, on the other side of the same coin, you've got the performative sanctimony class, the Hassans and the M-Tashes of the world, who don't sell you courses, but sell you something arguably worse. Moral superiority. The other sells you virtue you haven't earned.
But both sides are selling, right?
Both of them need to consume. Then, there's the guy in the white suit streaming from the same house using $2 steaks. He's probably richer than a lot of these influencers combined, who has never sold videos, never launched a membership, never once
But, yeah, duh.
The most prominent champagne socialist on the internet lives in a mansion in West Hollywood while calling himself anti-capitalist.
Very nice one.
Asmongold, who advocates for a mix of capitalism and socialism, and actually tested left libertarian on political compass, practices anti-consumption more radically than any of them. And I think the irony of that is worth sitting with.
And that's why they're mad. That's what it is. They don't give a shit. They don't care. It's not a big deal. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's a big deal. They are. For me, I just do what I do. That's it. I just gotta stop eating bacon. That's the thing.
Lives like this. It undercuts the entire manosphere.
Saying that makes me want to get a bacon.
And the philosophy underneath it is worth understanding. Because I think it's the most genuinely useful framework out there for navigating the increasingly competitive world. I'd call it ruthless, pragmatic realism. The reason I'm making this video is because for the longest time, I was exactly the young man these people claim to be worried about. I've watched Asmongold for decades. Back to the old WoW days.
Jesus, bro, everybody knows this. Oh my god. Calling Asmongold a white. I hate to say this, I'm gonna say it now. Do you remember whenever Taliesin, he leaned down like this, and it showed that he was going bald on the top of his head? I paused the video there on purpose to show that he was going bald, but I played it off. This is like 7 years ago. I still remember this. I played it off as it was just like I wanted to make a conversation, and I just dragged on a totally irrelevant point just so everybody could see the pause that he was bald. That was literally it.
And I wanted to share because I think a lot of us particular brand of unfiltered honesty. And sure, he said plenty of stupid shit on the internet, but even his most loyal fans would agree he doesn't do him any favors. Overall, I do like his ideas on a lot of topics.
I'll say more, dude.
I often find him quite a psychological challenge. The kind of thinking that forces you to confront assumptions you didn't even know you were carrying. Sure, he's a flawed thinker. But I think the reason so many of his friends are so positive is he thinks without filter. No matter
That's the problem. That's the exact problem right there. I do. I say exactly what I think. And the problem is that, and I think the reason why I'm popular is because other people are thinking the same thing, but nobody really wants to say it. And then it comes me, where I'm just like, yeah, that's the reason why everybody knows. Yeah, of course AI is replacing women's jobs, because they're all fake jobs. Yeah, duh. And they're like, well, you hate women. And I'm like, okay, but am I wrong?
how harsh or uncomfortable the truth is. He just says it. Now, obviously, that's pissed off a lot of people.
Thank God.
But I think as guys, we just find that refreshing. Most of us don't deal with bullshit. Political correctness that dominates Western discourse now.
It's embarrassing.
And given the choice between difficult truth and comfortable nonsense, I'll take difficult truth every time.
Yeah, that's a minority opinion.
Whether he's talking about men's mental health, the dating market, politics, economics, culture, gaming, he'll say things like, yeah, that's bad, but it still exists. Or, yeah, I wish things were different, but they're not. And then just move forward from there. There's something about hearing a guy say that. A guy who lost his mother and lived in poverty and had his teeth knocked out of his mouth. Something about hearing him say, it is what it is, and then get up the next day and keep going. That stays with you in a way that no self-help book or motivational seminar ever could.
That's because of my dad, by the way. My dad had that mentality, and anytime that I would get upset or sad or anything else, there really wasn't a lot of room for that. There really wasn't. It's just the way it is.
Because what you're hearing is the residue of someone who's
Security threat detected.
and come out the other side without pretending the process was pretty.
Well, I think also a lot of people go through bad
Polarized
they also
required.
whenever you allow trauma so yeah, I've had a lot of that happen. But I think that really my experiences are really similar to other people's experiences. I do. I think that like other people have these experiences, people have these problems all the time. And so talking about them in a day-to-day, I think helps people recognize that and not feel like it's some kind of like or anything else.
Warning, autoclave compromised. Pause lockdown unavailable. Memory correct. Self-repair functionality offline.
Men make up only 42% of bachelor's degrees now, the lowest in America. Women in their 20s outpace us. 1 in 4 guys under 35 feels lonely every single day, with 4 times more likely to kill themselves. And nobody
That's it?
How? It's only incentive.
Well, they do it. They blame it on the men. They blame it on, the men. The problem is that they do name it. And everybody that seems to have an opinion, they're not naming it because they want to help people. They're naming it because they want to do it. That's the reason why.
Entire generations.
They want to make money.
Not because of you.
The elevator will arrive shortly.
Find those frameworks wherever you can. The only way
This is the reason, by the way, why there are so many concerted attacks against me. And people trying to demonize me and make me look bad. It's because I call this out, and I do so in a way that isn't really, like, there's not really, like, I'm not trying to make money off of it, really. Like, if anything, I'm losing money because of it. So, ultimately, I think that having a person that has a big platform like I have that speaks about these issues in a very just direct way, I think it hurts these people's monopoly on what their version of the truth is. That's it.
Stare down that reality. Accept the cards this era has dealt us. Refuse to retreat into either of the two bubbles the manosphere has set. The hustle porn fantasy that monetizes your insecurity. Or the performative sanctuary that monetizes your moral comfort. Because both of them are just different flavors of delusion. Neither one will improve your actual life by a single inch. Asmongold's entire life is the proof of what that framework looks like when someone actually lives it. We already know how successful it is, so I won't belabor the point. The way he built it, starting with WoW guides on YouTube, encouraging clippers to distribute his content for free, diversifying across platforms, sort of when Twitch banned him it really scratched him, building actual equity businesses like
I would say that everything basically was beneficial to me. Like, every time I've gotten banned or suspended or anything else, the long-term effect is that it was beneficial.
Forged systems, rather than depending on platforms. All of that is worth studying if you're trying to build anything online today. But what really matters is where he built it from. Because this is a guy who started from the bottom 1% of circumstances in every possible way.
I would say that if you want my honest opinion, I would disagree with this. I think that I was incredibly lucky. There are a lot of people that are more lucky than me, but like just the fact that I was born a guy, I'm over 6 feet tall, I was born in America, both of my parents are present in my life, I didn't get beaten, you know, I know English, like, which is the most popular language. I don't know if it's the most popular language in the world, but like, at least in the Western world, it's the most popular language. Like, I mean, I feel like I got really good RNG. There are other people that got way better RNG, but overall, like, I would say that I rolled at least a 14 or a 15 on a D20. I think people look at the nat 20s and they say that, wow, I hate my life, whenever they actually just rolled a 13. They might have rolled a 12. And they think they rolled a 1.
Condemned house in Texas. Poverty line. Parents separated. Mother developed COPD and couldn't work. He became her full-time caregiver because he couldn't afford help and couldn't leave her alone. He started streaming because it was the only income activity compatible with being stuck at home as a caregiver. And I remember him saying openly that unlike most creators, he literally started for the money.
A blind oath.
In the creator space, there's this unspoken rule that you're supposed to pretend the money doesn't matter. Everyone performs the passion math.
This is it.
Because admitting financial motivation is seen as somehow impure or less authentic. When the reality is that money is why most people do most things.
It's not a bad
Pretending
thing.
otherwise
I feel like that's
is
not a
just
bad thing at
another
all.
layer of performance. And there's something almost contagiously His mother passed in October 2021.
Not a good
About 2 years after his girlfriend.
We actually got back together whenever my mom passed away. It's a lot closer.
Mother passed as well. He admitted he'd planned to end his life after high school, but in his own words, forgot when Wrath of the Lich King came out. He's talked openly about all of it, and has said he doesn't care about sympathy. He just wants people to understand where he's coming from as a person. From the bottom 1% to the top 1%.
Donation goal needs to come back? No, I don't
Every
think so.
conventional path was physically closed to him, and he built anyway. From a single room with a computer and an internet connection. That
So I
was the
cleaned my
entire
house,
starting position for
2.3
everything
million
that
views.
came after.
Holy shit.
And I remember watching him react to a
8 years
podcast
ago.
about masculinity, where the host said something about how, wherever you point blame,
depressed is different than being depressed about something. So, like, if I'm unhappy about something, then I think that's very different than someone just hating their life, period. So, like, was I really depressed? I mean, there were a lot of things in my life I didn't really like, I was very unhappy about, but ultimately, that's just the way it is. Yeah, that's totally just the way it is.
Not to me. I swore that I'd always protect those lives.
He talks about how people build against ever having to chase
That's one right there.
more useful to me than anything I learned in formal education. You can see exactly what happens when that it was the tweet that sparked this whole drama. Polymarket posted the analysis showing that female-dominated corporate roles are more vulnerable to AI automation.
The humanity I know is far more capable than you realize. They don't
Too
want
many
you
fake jobs to create artificial intelligence and women in the workforce. AI is possible. Hopefully, after this is all over, women can go back to doing what they do best, being a mother.
The humanity I know is far more capable than you realize.
Now, the packaging is crude, obviously. But Asmongold is a master. But you have to remember, he's an online and if independent creators don't use an institutional media class.
That's a nice justification, but I think the real answer is just because I'm a fucking dickhead. I'm just an asshole. That's the reason why I say stuff that way. Yeah,
CNN.
That's actually the reason why.
Times have been doing the exact same thing for decades. They just...
It's not like a big reason. I mean, like, you could say there's kind of a reason, but...
While Asmongold does it without one. In a culture that's increasingly immersed in discomfort, some truths will never be. Because this essay is focused on I don't want to go on. But tweets like this do raise genuinely important questions. Questions like why the global sex work economy is worth over $1 billion and overwhelmingly dominated by women.
And also, like, in pieces of it's not but the audience for it, the people that are consuming prostitution, the people that are consuming sex work, are probably 95% men,
Yet pointing that out, why such a significant percentage of Gen Z women now see OnlyFans as the new American dream. What that says about the economy. Why Western economies have built such enormous layers of administrative bloat that don't produce anything. What happens when AI can do compliance, HR work cheaper? How we use AI and what it says about our culture as I say biological
the reason why this is the case is because the people that are primarily, like, I would say, so any facts or any piece of evidence that is contrary to that has to be destroyed. Because these people don't want more conversation. They want less conversation. And I think the goal of that is reason why, for example, you have all these people that are trying to tell you they're trying to tell you and I think that that's the important thing, is that they want to force a compliance culture around
But the point for now is that the century that's valuable, even if the delivery makes people uncomfortable. Which brings us to maybe the most important thing.
A leader to guide them.
That's the thing, is like, I feel like people say it's captured or like, I'll listen to my
I know it's far more capable.
It does. I will always challenge my audience. I will make tons of videos where people will get mad about it.
Talked about this.
The humanity I know is far more capable than you realize.
Which is a left.
They don't want your leadership.
He supports a constitution right to abortion. He lobbied the Republican senator on consumer protection against loot boxes.
I remember that. Yeah.
He says trans kids
My message will live on.
Fucked up vision died.
That's all. Like, that's always what it is. Like, and that's why I say all the time, is I always just simply do what's in my best interest. It's that simple. I think most people do that.
By placing that
logic, yeah.
political compass, it doesn't fit anywhere. And that's precisely because he's evaluating rather than outsourcing his world.
Humanity is full of
is this narrow convergence of thought, where you're expected to adopt an entire bundle of positions.
humanity is full
So they can endorse very, very small stuff.
a leader to guide them.
Whereas on the right, there's actually more
The humanity I know is far more.
You've got libertarians and traditionalists.
More capable than you realize.
And that diversity of thought, even if the individual positions is sometimes wrong. And what really drives it home is how he handles accountability when that independence has real consequences. He got banned from Twitch for dehumanizing comments about Palestinians.
Oh, yeah.
And then walked away from OTK entirely. The organization he co-founded, because his political content was costing his colleagues sponsorships. He split. When a viewer asked what he down, he said even if they'd forced him out, he'd agree with it. Which is uncompromising.
Humanity is full of a leader to guide them.
Is because I don't want to drag other people into my problems. Like, I recognize that, like, I don't want to use other people as